What is the difference between competition and traditional style kettlebells?
Here I have two major styles of kettlebells. First one is competition, made of steel, and second one is traditional, made of cast iron. In competition style kettlebells, the shape and size will stay the same regardless of the weight. This means that your technique will only need to accommodate for changes in weight rather than for changes in size of the kettlebell. So this ensures a more stable technique as you transition through the weights. With traditional style kettlebells, the size of the kettlebell will increase in accordance with its weight. So your technique will have to adjust not only to the increase in weight, but also to the increase in the shape of the bell. You can recognize competition kettlebell by them being very colorful and all of them being the same size despite changes in weight. So as you can see in the back here, these are 20 kg, these are 24, 28 and 32, but all of them look the same. The only difference is the color. So the color is an international standard, and anytime you see a yellow competition kettlebell, you can be sure that it is 16 kgs. Anytime you see a blue, you can be sure it's 12, and so on. Why such difference? Competition kettlebells are designed for Girevoy sport. Girevoy, translated from Russian, simply means kettlebell sport. And it is an endurance event where you perform an exercise with 1 or 2 kettlebells without putting them down for 10 minutes. Due to the extreme endurance nature of the kettlebell sport, consistent technique for hundreds of repetitions is really important. Therefore, it makes sense for the athletes who spend months and years perfecting that technique to not have to change it too much once the weight has become heavier. In sport, the goal is to perform the highest number of reps, and the same size and shape of the kettlebells enables the athlete to perform the highest number of reps they can in the 10 minutes period. In contrast to that, traditional style kettlebells are designed for strength and conditioning purposes. The goal of strength and conditioning is not to perform the highest number of reps in a certain period of time, but it is to increase the strength, stamina, flexibility, power, cardiovascular endurance of the body so that it can then be ready for whichever sport you choose to participate in and for life. Otherwise, sometimes it is also called general physical preparedness.
Here are some structural and functional differences between competition and traditional bells.
Let's start with the handle. Competition-style kettlebells have a narrower, squarer, and smaller handle in comparison to traditional-style kettlebells, which have a wider, rounder, and larger handle. Due to the demands of kettlebell sport, competition kettlebells are designed to be easier on the grip. Traditional kettlebells are designed to challenge and improve the strength of your grip, and that's why generally they're slightly thicker than competition-style kettlebells.
Competition kettlebells are meant to be used with one hand only. Due to the nature and requirements of the kettlebell sport, the athletes generally avoid two-hand exercises. Traditional style kettlebells are used for strength and conditioning and general physical preparedness, so they can be used with 2 hands and 1 hand. Such versatility is useful as it makes it easy to learn new exercises. Due to the shape of the body, these kettlebells are also easier to rack and lock out overhead.
Traditional style kettlebells are designed for strength and power training. And because of that, you will be using heavier weights for relatively shorter sets. Therefore, it is important that you can hang on to your kettlebell when you get sweaty. There are 2 ways to make sure that you hang on to your kettlebell once you get sweaty. First way is to purchase a kettlebell that is powder coated, or as this one, EquipFit kettlebell, double powder coated. This kettlebell doesn't require chalk at all, and it's very useful for people who exercise at home, who are exercising on the carpet, who don't like breathing in chalk, or who just don't like using chalk. The other kettlebell is cast iron RKC kettlebell, and this kettlebell holds chalk really well. So if you are using chalk, if you like chalk or if you don't mind using it, then when you put it on your hands or you put it on the kettlebell and you grip the kettlebell and your hands get sweaty, you still can hang on to the kettlebell. The types of kettlebells I don't recommend purchasing is the chrome cast, like this one, or vinyl coated, or the one that I don't have here, metal handle kettlebell. Those kettlebells have very smooth handles which don't hold chalk, which means when you get sweaty and the kettlebell starts slipping out of your hand, even if you put chalk on your hands, you're just going to end up with sweaty, chalky porridge in your palms, but the kettlebell is still going to be slipping out of your hands. So I don't recommend using polished handles. Instead, use either powder coated or high quality cast iron kettlebells. Next, the body of the kettlebell. As you can see, the competition kettlebells have a large body that stays the same across all weights. The traditional kettlebell has a smaller body and it increases slightly as the weight of the kettlebell increases. The body size of the kettlebell doesn't make much difference when you're swinging a single bell. When you're swinging doubles, however, it might make a difference for you if you're a small person. I am 5'1" and the size of the kettlebells make a difference to me when I'm doing double kettlebell drills, which I do most of the time. If you're planning to use kettlebells for strength and power and you are a smaller person with shorter legs, please remember that the wider you have to stand to produce power, the less power you can actually produce. Have a look at my double kettlebell swings with two competition style 16 kg kettlebells. "16 kg kettlebells are quite easy for me to swing, but when it comes to swinging 20s or 24s, it really makes a difference that my legs are so widely spread. When I'm using my double 16 kg of the traditional style, I can stand much narrower and produce much more power. So again, it comes down to the ultimate purpose. Competition kettlebells are designed for kettlebell sport, and the reason why they are the size they are is to keep the standard of the sport, regardless whether the person using them is big or small. Traditional style kettlebells are designed for strength and conditioning as well as general physical preparedness. Their shape is designed to challenge your stability and grip, thereby improving them as well as maximize your power output for strength training. If you are a female, you might find this helpful in your choices. In traditional kettlebell sport, women were only performing single kettlebell exercises. So you will have kettlebell long cycle, snatch, and jerk. Men were performing double kettlebell exercises. The reason being that it is not advised for women to compress their breasts with their arms or the kettlebells when they perform the exercises. And with double competition kettlebells, inevitably you have to do that. So you have to hold the kettlebells quite close to your body. In traditional style kettlebells, the kettlebells do not have to be held really close to the center of your body because the body of the kettlebell is smaller. And women are able to perform double kettlebell exercises much easier with traditional style kettlebells, as well as lift much heavier weight. So if you know that you're going to be using double kettlebells either now or eventually, if you are a large, long-limbed male, you can choose either and it will be fine. If you are a smaller, shorter female, you might want to use traditional style kettlebells because it will allow you to use heavier weights and express your power better. And finally, there is the base. Regardless of which style of the kettlebell you choose, make sure that your kettlebell has a flat base.
Competition-style kettlebells have a wider base and therefore are more stable in floor exercises. They are also marginally higher off the ground, but unless you're very short, it doesn't make much difference. Traditional style kettlebells have a smaller base, which makes them a challenge to balance on. The smaller and lighter the kettlebell, the harder it is to balance on it. If you're planning to perform floor exercises, it is important that the base of your kettlebell is flat. And some of the traditional kettlebells of lesser quality do not have a flat base. So the kettlebells like this, which are vinyl coated, and the other style kettlebell that has a rubber body, generally they don't have a flat base, which makes floor exercises both difficult and dangerous. In my own training and in the Kettlebell Academy classes, we use traditional style cast iron kettlebells for strength and conditioning, as well as double kettlebell training, and competition style kettlebells for Girevoy sport training. You might want to use them in a different way, and I hope that this video helped you make your decision for purchasing the best kettlebells for you. See you next time. Bye-bye.